So this just seems like the month I'm getting a lot of Kickstarters in the mail. Wild Assent is one that came just recently to add a little different flavor in some of my miniature tabletop board gaming. So welcome to another video hosted by Spellstorm Miniatures. We're going to dive into the Wild Assent. This is by Squire Games, set for ages 14 and up, 1 to 4 players, and about 60 to 90 minutes a game session. So this box here is basically just the Kickstarter stretch goals that came out. So a lot of miniatures in that. Then we have the Shadow of Silverstream expansion. Gotta be careful, I keep wanting to say Silverstream. Catches me almost every time. Then we have the big, heavy core box here. So what's kind of neat about this is this one you can play solo or with friends, and it's mainly some gladiatorial style battles you can get, or you can go out in the wild and hunt some monsters. So it's a great way. You have to make some kind of strategic decisions before your miniatures are even on the board. So let's go ahead and check out what's in the box and how these miniatures came out. Alright, let's dive into the big box of Wild Assent. This was brought to you by Squire Games with 2,234 backers pledging about $332,000. This is the Champions Pledge, including the core game, the expansion, a Feathered Serpent, and stretch goals. It's a 1 to 4 player board game, solo co-op, either way, however you want to play it, with some great miniatures. So let's just see how good those miniatures look. Alright, it's just a very thick and hefty box. So right out, we have the instruction booklet. So you got your arena rulebook, showing off a lot of your characters, different dice, nice artwork, very large, easy to read it looks like, board setup, and how everything kind of works. Hunt rulebook, again one of the other modes, so you got your arena, you got your hunt mode. This one I think is more of where you're going out and catching some monsters, maybe some other people. So how to handle those rules, just a little bit different, and how to set up some of the encounters, your obstacles. Campaign book, again you have a few different modes on how to play this. The same, again more beautiful artwork, and just working you through, well, a campaign. All your different combatants, putting them all out there. And all these miniatures are in here. So there we go. 3 different ways to play it. Now these are really neat. Some trays. It's just some good thinking of them to kind of think of the players and the organization on card placement. You have your dice. Get some custom dice, shields, fists, bursts, swords. There's the initial game tray there. And then, which was part of one of the stretch goals, some of these foam inserts, which is just nice. I like to have a miniatures game where I don't have to immediately figure out how I'm going to store the minis. Now this one's a little bit interesting. Like kind of a hard bottom. And the foam, I mean, the foam feels alright, and it's like, feels like it's glued everywhere around. So the entire bottom of the foam is glued, which is definitely nice for them not sliding around in there. Looks like a couple of them are stashed here together, but we'll just take a look at, I'll have to get some closer looks of these minis. This is just kind of a small one. See a few tags on there. It's neat. Is I believe some other games have done this where get a better look right in there. There's the picture of the model that's supposed to be in there. There they are. So that's really nice for trying to figure out where they go back into, so you don't have to fight it with try to remember every little detail. Let's take a look at some of these guys or gals or it, whatever this is. The base is already pre-done. Yeah, just a few strings on them. Gonna be a little bit of cleanup, but otherwise very kind of a crisp and neat looking models. Again, since their base is already there, and the little overhang shouldn't be an issue. These are all grid based anyway, so all fit okay. How they're cast in there, all one piece. Can't really complain about one piece minis that come with their storage. for the price, for the amount of minis. Probably won't go through all these miniatures, although I'm really intrigued myself on what they all look like and how they do. Okay, that one's a little bit of a pain, but it has a lot of the spiky bits. Again, I'm just going to have to come in, just do a little bit of cleanup on a lot of these. This was a neat one. It should be pretty cool painted up. So you've got the flames of the phoenix as it's rising, protecting its egg there. Again, the feather detail is really nice. So they weren't kidding when they're going to say pretty well done, and again, all one piece. So just for those little cleanups and coming in one piece, I am not going to complain. I mean, look at the tentacles on this guy. Yeah, again, just a little bit there. So, but the time you don't spend gluing them together, you can spend a little bit of cleanup. I might take some of my spare foam. I'm already kind of looking at this. There's not much room though. Let's put a little foam just between them, just to not have them base. But I guess if their bases are rubbing, it's not the end of the world. Oh, come on. How sturdy is that? Actually pretty good. Has some flex in there, which is nice when you have the plastic minis like this. But here's, I believe, one of your main characters jumping up, tail in the back, ready to spear somebody. Alright, and then on the sides, place for the cards. Then you have the deck part there, so not really sure, but just good ones for all used in there, or to store right back in. It's in this plastic. Yeah, it seems like there's enough room. You sleeve them, again keeping some of those gamers in mind, just to have that little bit of extra room for sliding your cards around. So you can sleeve them and then pop them right back in. They'll probably fit. The sleeves, I'm guessing, are going to add some height though, so they're not going to fit as nicely in here. But you do have the side to side, and then you have the other containers as well. I mean, yeah, more than enough room, I guess, to store some spillover into those slots there. You're not using them here. And since it's all glued, come up all right. Yeah, definitely not lifting it by that a whole bunch. Just that thin cardboard that's on the bottom is the only thing there. So I can see kind of with the cards there ripping this a bit. Tokens to punch out. It'll be fun later. And cards, just punch cardboard. Looks like a pretty good thickness on them. Especially these ones. Which is nice when they have a nice feel and heft in your hand. And on the boards, they're not as worried about them getting lost and beat up and scattered. Right, take a better look at those tokens. Got all the punch outs right there. Let's save these for later. Nice stress leaf. It's almost like bubble wrap. Map. The cards in that thick cardboard. So you don't really need to even probably sleeve these. They'll just hold up as they are. Then more tokens just coming right out. There's more. There's all your tokens there. All your heroes, your main characters in it, along with a couple of the extra trackers. Looks like modifiers maybe and everything. Double check something. There we go. Yep. Starting to feel those big ones. So these ones will all fit right in there. And I'm guessing that's what a lot of these kind of tokens are. So these little spaces are for. Plenty of room to fit these tokens and those as well. So another nice job of just realizing that your players are probably going to want storage. And it's nice to be able to have a game conveniently play like that. That is your camp where you're hanging out. But you have your other cards that pop up here for you to interact with and use, along with what's going on up top. So this is kind of your hero's base camp while they're out on the hunt. And the arena. A lot of nice detail printed up on here. And it just folds folds there. Pretty thick edge on each of them. It's already kind of given away. The arena, all of its detail and tracker on the outside. Same with the other side of setting up your hunts and being used in the campaign, it looked like. Not overly done where the details are really obscuring, just making it hard to pick out, but there's enough to kind of get the feel that you're either in the forest or in the arena. That's nice. And yeah, be careful when you put your stuff away, as I already just putting this one away, showing it off for the first time, put a rip right in it. Can't really see it too well, but it already split that side as I was being hastily putting the map away. A little bit of a bummer. Again, hopefully that holds up long term. That one's a little easier as it's light. I guess that's one problem getting really big, thick cardboard, is you might run into that. Let's speed this up and get all this back together. Push all that air out. Let's get to the next one. I don't know if you could hear that thump as they put that thing down. Jeez. This one's also pretty thick. This is the expansion. So you've got your prologue campaign for that one as well. Another tray. Pretty much the same. I won't spend much time on it. You've got your cards here again, although this one looks like it has a lot more space, so probably when all these are sleeved, it'll fill up. Right out the gate though, I noticed the foam is different. They definitely switched up for some reason. Not sure why, but at least everything's still labeled inside there. A little bit more room between these ones also. Actually like that there's an arrow. You don't really get an arrow too often in a lot of games, but the detail's all there. This fellow on a half horse centaur demon looking one. That's neat. You got a big dragon here. This one's a little bit different as they have the... Ow! Ooh, just got stabbed by that. Two-headed dragon in this. Work that out. So you have the 2 layers of trays. Man. These wings are sharp. This one actually looks almost a little broken on a couple spots. Maybe when it's coming out of its mold or something. It just is really sharp and weird on those. So just have to be careful when handling it. And this one is going to definitely need a lot cleanup. It got a little ugly right around those feathers or scales. Still, neat model. Showed off all the detail in the wings. It has its own nice home right there. And more cards. Plenty of space. And this is more of the arena style, where you have multiples of the same type of monster or enemy. Yeah, that was a little bit of uncured or not removed debris in that one. Yeah, the other ones seem kind of okay. And pieces there. Same as the others. Ooh. That one's a little pokey. Some nice thorns and briars. Stones. Just little extra terrain pieces, which I actually might be able to just use in some other games as well. Let's check out your main people here. Nice detail on the flags. Again, much of the same that I'm seeing. Great detail, cleanup needed. The plastic's nice, that it's actually can take a little bit of abuse, even on those swords. Kind of same as before. Looking at the cards, your main villain right there. The other characters and some of the gladiators on there, along with some more tokens and different abilities to mark out. No map on that because clearly you're going to use the one from the base game. Yeah, so I'll remove those later and toss this all back and we'll get through the last box. This is the box of containing the stretch goals. I mean, I get why there's a second box if all the stretch goals, Kickstarter stretch goals, aren't going to go to retail. But still, one more box I have to handle and take out now. I might try combining the boxes, see if it works. Maybe one of them will be just the trays. Come up with a different storage system, we'll see. But again, same tray. And the same white foam as the expansion. Or that's just a little bit of cost savings, or what the deal is there. Cards again, space for them, builds them up. More than enough room on these ones. So I guess if you have all of these from the original one, if they don't quite fit in the trays, you have plenty of storage in all of these as well. Let's look at some of the bug creatures on this one. Not sure if that sword's supposed to be curved, but there it is. Holding up okay. Just more of these. Again, same idea. Kind of seen them, know what's going on, get the idea of the level of detail that's happening in them. Even down to some grass here popping out underneath the barrels. Holding up pretty good. This is the mascot, the lazy Squire. Made him into a miniature. So you can have your own lazy Squire hanging out. Great use in some other games too. This was a little extra they threw in there. Lady Alwyn, I believe, and the unicorn. Just some Kickstarter exclusives. You could also add on. I mean, it's pretty neat. There's those four-winged kind of unicorn, two manes, one off each leg. A little different twist. And I'm gonna guess underneath now, opening these again, you have your tokens. Same as before. The cards, instead of being a thin sleeved card, they are big cardboard that'll hopefully hold up for many, many sessions. Again, just opening up more options to play. Toss this back together real quick. Just like the other ones, nice and easy, no rule book. Making cleanup pretty quick. And there you have Wild Assent. Alright, thanks for checking those out with me. I'm starting to really kind of like Lazy Squire games, and just the way they're running things, and the layouts. As you saw, there's really neat ways to store your miniatures already included with the box. And the miniatures came out pretty great looking, with just a little bit of cleanup to them. Otherwise, can't ask for much more on it. As far as the rules and how easy it is to teach people, I'll have to get back to you on that one, but I'm looking forward to doing that real soon, once I get through all my other games I got here. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. And check out Spellstorm Miniatures. You can find the links to our Patreon, Facebook, so we can connect, and also other ways to support the project, from Patreon to affiliate links, which cost you nothing really extra. Thank you.